I'm gonna do something today that my broker probably doesn't want me to. I'm gonna give you the top 10 reasons why you should not invest in Wyoming commercial real estate. I'm Shawn McCoul with CBC Cornerstone Real Estate. And if you can get through all 10 reasons without changing your mind, well, you probably weren't ready to invest anyway. Let's go. Let's start with reason number 10, and this one seriously is a problem. The scenery here is absolutely distracting. Imagine trying to walk a client through cash flow projections and cap rate assumptions when you have beautiful Casper mountains setting in the background. You're trying to have a serious conversation about net operating income, but you got that view out there, and it's basically impossible. Look, if you need to stay laser focused on spreadsheets and not be distracted, Wyoming might not be the best place for you. Reason number 9, and I want to be completely upfront with you, this one is going to sound too good to be true. Wyoming has 0 state income tax, 0 corporate tax, and some of the lowest property taxes in the entire nation, and business-friendly policies that make it look like other states are actively trying to chase people away. Now, when I lay that out from investors from California to Colorado, the reaction is almost always the same. They squint and go, wait, where's the catch? There isn't one. And if you're the type of investor that needs things to be crazy and complicated in order for you to trust them, Wyoming is going to drive you absolutely crazy. Reason 8, and this one is going to genuinely frustrate you if you were hoping things would just stay quiet. People won't stop moving to Wyoming. Families leaving California, entrepreneurs leaving Colorado, remote workers leaving Texas, they're all ending up here looking for lower costs, better quality of life, and freedoms that they didn't have where they came from. More people means more businesses need space. More businesses mean more demand for commercial real estate right here in Casper and across the whole state. It's a real problem for anyone who is hoping to keep this market a secret for a little longer. Reason number 7, and if you love bureaucracy, and honestly, there are people that really do, Wyoming is really going to disappoint you. The permitting process here is straightforward. The regulatory environment is business friendly. And when you need to get something done, the timeline is actually reasonable. Compared to states like California or New York, where it feels like you're filing paperwork in a different language for 3 years before anything gets done, Wyoming is almost shockingly efficient. For investors, faster timelines mean faster returns. And here in Casper, I've been involved in projects that have moved from purchase to operational in timeframes that would seem unimaginable in other markets. Terrible news if you enjoy waiting. Reason number 6, Casper, Wyoming is frustratingly strategically positioned. It sits right along I-25, central to the entire state. Hours from the most visited national park in the entire world. Direct commercial flights out of Casper to Denver. It connects Colorado to the south, Gillette and the Energy Corridor of the north, as well as the Wind River region to the west. Casper is a natural hub for energy services, distribution, logistics, and it's still priced like a small town, which is deeply unfair to any other regional hub in America that charges you accordingly. Okay. Reason 5, and this is where I have to come clean about something. Warehouses, shops, contractor units. It's in incredibly high demand right now. And supply, it's catching up. I'm talking about the unglamorous stuff. The properties that nobody makes fancy brochures about. And they're being snatched up quietly by investors that have done their homework. Here in Casper, the energy sector alone drives demand for that type of property. Add contractors, small manufacturers, service businesses, and that type of property is in very high demand. And you've got a property type with strong occupancy and staying power. So if you were hoping to find a boring, low demand asset class here in Wyoming, keep looking. This isn't it. Reason number 4, and this one really is almost embarrassing. In cities like Denver, Salt Lake City, Phoenix, commercial property prices are almost out of reach. You're competing with institutional money, REITs, and property investors that have been circling that market for years. In Wyoming, the entry point is a fraction of that. First-time investors can actually get in the door. Small business owners can own their own space instead of renting it. People looking to diversify don't have to bet everything on one single play. I've had investors come from bigger markets, see what they can acquire here for a fraction of what they could back home, and just start laughing. Not because it's funny, but because they can't believe they've waited this long to get here. Reason 3, and look, if you enjoy writing large checks to the government, Wyoming commercial real estate is really going to let you down. No state income tax, no corporate tax, some of the lowest property taxes in the nation. And on top of that, you stack the real commercial real estate tax advantages, cost segregation study, depreciation, write-offs. And what you end up with is a situation where you're not just making money, but you're keeping an uncomfortable amount of it. I always tell investors, don't just focus on what you earn, focus on what you keep. In Wyoming, those two numbers are a lot closer than almost anywhere in the nation. It's practically offensive on how favorable the math is. Reason 2, commercial real estate in Wyoming gives you almost too many exit strategies. It's overwhelming, really. You can hold it for cash flow, sell for appreciation as the property goes up in value, lease long-term to a stable tenant, convert the use, redevelop the property. Most markets make you pick one approach and hope it works. Wyoming gives you options, real ones. And in a growing market like this, where migration is up, business activity is increasing, and commercial demand for space is rising, having flexibility means you can adapt as the market matures. In investing, optionality is everything. The more ways you have to win, the less likely it is you're going to lose. Wyoming commercial real estate right now, too many ways to win. It's almost not fair. And here it is, reason number 1, the biggest danger of investing in Wyoming commercial real estate. You might actually like it here. I've watched it happen. An investor comes in from out of state, they evaluate a property, they run the numbers, very professional, very transactional. And then they take a drive up Casper Mountain, or they spend a morning sitting on the North Platte River, or they go downtown and they notice, hey, people are actually friendly here. And suddenly the conversation shifts from what's the cap rate to what's it actually like to live here. If you need to stay firmly planted somewhere else, don't come to Wyoming, don't invest here, don't call me, because I cannot be held responsible for what happens next. So there you have it. 10 very compelling reasons to stay far away from Wyoming commercial real estate. I'm Shawn McCoul with CBC Cornerstone Real Estate. If you're ready to talk about Wyoming, I'm ready to listen. Hit subscribe because we're just getting started.